Catherine Hale surfaced from anesthesia into a nightmare. Conscious, paralyzed, and listening to her son plan her death. Her eyelids were lead, her limbs lay dead, but her ears caught every word like a wiretap. George and Donna Hale stepped into the recovery room, their voices low and certain, thinking no one could hear.
Just let her go, Donna. It's the kindest thing and simplifies everything.
Please, I am still here. Can't you see?
The lake house must go on the market before autumn. We need the liquidity.
The brokerage account is at 1.2 million. That money is ours the second she's dead.
On the monitor, the heart rate spiked, a desperate Morse code from a prisoner who could not move. At the nurse's station, Emma Prescott saw the spike and stiffened. This wasn't pain. She grabbed her phone and started toward the room, a name rising in her mind. Patricia's friend, Catherine. Hours earlier, in a pre-op bay, the disaster began with a single ignored note on a chart. Catherine Hale, 74, lay on a gurney. Her chart bore a red ink warning, slow anesthesia metabolism. The note had been in her file for 5 years, but the recovery team would never read it.
Administer the anesthetic per protocol. We have a full slate today.
She felt the cold liquid snake into her vein. Then the world dissolved into a hum.
The surgery began. Overhead lights burned, and instruments clicked in the sterile silence. In recovery, a busy nurse flipped past the chart without glancing at the flagged note. The anesthesia held just deeply enough to paralyze Catherine's body, but not her awareness. Catherine drifted in chemical twilight. She would soon surface into a nightmare from which she could not scream. The error was sealed. Catherine Hale would wake too soon, trapped inside a body that refused to answer. The recovery room fell silent for a beat. Then Donna leaned closer, lifting the conversation to a colder place.
George, we should talk to the doctor about a DNR today, before she starts coming around and complicating things.
If we do it too soon, it'll look suspicious. But the sooner the paperwork is signed, the cleaner.
They're not waiting for nature. They're scheduling my death.
I'll frame it as concern. We just want what's best for her. Spare her the suffering she always said she feared.
The cardiac monitor betrayed Catherine again. The green line spiked, screaming the alarm her vocal cords could not.
What's with the machine? It keeps jumping.
Probably just the anesthesia wearing off. Ignore it.
Ignore it. That's all I am to them. A number on a screen they'd rather see flat.
Unseen, Emma Prescott stopped outside the door, phone in hand, the recording already running. Emma nudged the door open, her phone already recording, and stepped inside with the silence of a familiar routine. She glanced at the cardiac monitor. The spikes weren't random pain responses. They tracked the conversation like a polygraph.
This woman isn't unconscious. She's hearing every word.
Catherine's half-lidded eyes met Emma's. In that frozen instant, something iron and desperate passed between them.
She can see me. She knows I am here.
Without hesitation, Emma angled her phone toward them, the recording app silently capturing every syllable.
Please, don't let them catch you.
We'll need her jewelry appraised too. Don't forget the pearls.
George nodded, oblivious to the silent witness pressed against the wall. Emma held steady, the recording light pulsing on her screen, a quiet weapon against what was unfolding. George lowered his voice, as if the walls could hear. The next words were a blueprint for a clean kill.
We tell the doctor Mom mentioned not wanting extraordinary measures. It's exactly what she would have wanted.
The timing has to look natural. We can't seem too eager. Maybe wait until the morning rounds.
They're scripting my final hours like a press release.
The monitor answered before she could. The green line lurched past 130, a frantic scream in silence.
If the nurse asks, just back us up. Say she was always clear about not wanting to be a burden.
I'll handle the chaplain too. A few tears, and no one will ask for paperwork twice.
They're writing a cover story while she's still breathing, right in front of me.
Her phone screen glowed with a growing waveform, digital proof that none of this was imagined. Beneath the blanket, Catherine's finger twitched, a silent, desperate muscle memory of fight. The silence broke when Donna circled back to the lake house. her voice sharp with impatience.
We can't wait until spring. Every month, the market shifts. We list by Monday, or we lose momentum.
Renovating the dock first could add 50,000. Rushing leaves money on the table.
The dock my husband built, now a bargaining chip.
Renovations take time we don't have. The doctor could walk in any minute and ruin the DNR window.
You are rushing this. We agreed to handle things carefully.
Cracks in the partnership. Every word is on the recording.
This was your idea, Donna. The timeline, the pressure, you pushed for all of it.
And you were happy to count the money. Don't act squeamish now.
The recording light pulsed steadily, capturing the fracture in their greed, evidence that would outlive them both. George's hand slipped to his pocket and produced a small brass key, turning it under the low light.
I got a copy of her safe deposit key months ago. The will, the deeds, everything is in there.
Months ago. This was never hope. It was a calendar.
We'll go through it after the memorial. Claiming as next of kin is cleaner than accessing it beforehand.
They planned this before the scalpel touched skin. I was dead long before the anesthesia.
A safe deposit key. Premeditation. This recording just became a potential felony.
Catherine's hand lay still, but inside she was screaming loud enough to shatter the glass in the window.
Once the DNR is signed, we won't even need probate. It's almost too easy.
Emma's phone captured the whole architecture of betrayal, the key, the will, the timeline.
Over my dead body. And they'll make sure it is.
The twitch that had been a whisper became a declaration. Catherine's index finger curled against the sheet, then stilled.
She's fighting it. The paralysis is breaking. I need to get closer.
Emma slid alongside the bed, angling her body to shield Catherine's hand from view, pretending to check the IV flow.
The doctor will be paged any minute. Stay ready, no hesitation.
I am always ready. Just keep your face from giving us away.
They still don't see. The recording has to capture every word, every pause.
Please. Someone. Anyone. Let her help me.
The fingers twitched again, this time curling into a weak, resolute fist beneath the blanket.
She's not giving up. Neither will I.
Emma's thumb hovered over the phone, the red dot blinking in the dark, the only witness besides God. Donna's phone rang, the real estate agent she'd been waiting for. She answered, her voice dropping to a professional purr.
Yes, the listing needs to be live by Monday morning. I want the photos up tonight.
The doctor said he'd be here in 20 minutes. We can't miss this window.
The cardiac monitor spiked again, the syncopated alarm cutting into the sterile air.
They're racing a clock that thinks I'm already gone.
Emma leaned in using the noise as cover and lifted Catherine's eyelids slightly, the pupil constricted to light, awake, alert.
She's fully responsive. I have to delay that doctor somehow.
The red dot on Emma's phone still blinked, capturing every syllable of the approaching crime.
Hang up. We'll call back when it's done.
The doctor's footsteps were minutes away, and Catherine's chest burned with the words she couldn't scream. The door swung open, and Dr. Marcus stepped in. Clipboard in hand, George moved toward him with a rehearsed, sympathetic face.
Doctor, we wanted to speak with you about Mom's code status. She wouldn't want to be kept alive by machines.
Ice. Chips.
The room became a freeze frame. Donna's hand stopped midair. George's mouth hung open before clicking shut.
Mrs. Hale, can you hear me? Squeeze my hand, if you can.
I can hear everything.
She's not just awake. She's choosing her words. The recording got it all.
Mom, thank God. We were so worried. We've been here the whole time.
The DNR window had slammed shut. Catherine Hale was back, and every word they'd spoken was already locked in silicon.
Not today. Not ever. I heard every single word.
By afternoon, Catherine had been moved to a private room where the light fell in warm oblongs across the floor.
Mom, you gave us a scare. The doctor says you are recovering beautifully.
Beautiful recovery. They were measuring me for a coffin 2 hours ago. I keep having these strange dreams. Voices. Like people were planning things.
George's fingers whitened on the bed rail. Donna's smile turned to porcelain.
It's just the anesthesia, Mom. The mind plays tricks when you're coming off those drugs.
The mind plays tricks, but my ears do not.
The door opened quietly, and Emma Prescott stepped in with a blood pressure cuff and a look that passed only to Catherine.
Hold steady. They still don't know you were listening.
Catherine returned the nod, her eyes saying what her voice could not. Soon, their house of cards was already falling. The moment George and Donna cleared the hall, Emma slipped back in, locking the door behind her.
I have the recording. You should hear exactly what they said.
Play it. I need to hear it with my own ears.
Emma pressed play. From the tiny speaker, George's voice hissed, "Just let her go." Donna's voice followed. The lake house must go on the market before autumn, and Catherine's hand curled into a fist.
My son. My own son. How long had they been planning this?
Emma stopped the playback. The silence was heavier than the words.
I'll send you the file. It's time-stamped, continuous. It captures everything.
I need to call Mr. Harrison tonight, before they realize I heard them.
Outside the window, the city lights blinked like a code. Catherine was no longer the victim. She was the trap. Catherine lifted the bedside phone and dialed the number she hadn't called in years, her last line of defense.
Harrison here.
Mr. Harrison, it's Catherine Hale. I need your help tonight. It's an emergency.
Catherine, you sound distressed. What's happened?
My son and his wife tried to pull the plug while I was conscious. I heard everything. I have a recording.
A recording of them. That's grounds for criminal charges and immediate revocation of power of attorney.
I need new power of attorney documents tonight. Revoke George's completely.
I'll draft the revocation and new POA now. I can be at the hospital in 40 minutes.
Hurry. I don't know when they'll be back.
40 minutes later, Mr. Harrison's car pulled into the hospital lot. Catherine's counterstrike had begun. Mr. Harrison walked into the hospital room, carrying a leather briefcase, his face schooled in the gravity of what they were about to do.
I've drafted a revocation of George's power of attorney and a new durable POA, naming your estate trustee. Sign here.
This will strip him of every legal right over me.
Effective immediately. He won't be able to access your accounts or make a single medical decision.
Catherine's signature was sharp and deliberate, the ink pressing hard into the page as if sealing a door that would never open again.
The trust restructuring is already drafted. By Friday, the brokerage account and lake house will be in a charitable remainder trust.
So he'll find out when he tries to liquidate and comes up empty.
Exactly. And he'll have no legal standing to challenge it.
My son. I just erased him from my life with a stroke of a pen. And I would do it again.
George Hale had been stripped of power without a whisper. Outside, the night thickened, and he had no idea the ground had already vanished beneath his feet. The next morning, George and Donna swept in with coffee and forced cheer, already planning the day's logistics.
Mom, I'll stop by the bank after work to start consolidating accounts. Donna's got the agent on standby.
Consolidating accounts. He still thinks he's the executor.
We just want everything in order, so you can focus on recovery. The lake house will move fast once it's listed.
That won't be necessary. My attorney is managing everything now.
George's hand, halfway to his coffee, stopped. Donna's smile flickered like a light with a loose wire.
Attorney? Since when do you need a lawyer, Mom?
Since I decided someone reliable should handle my affairs. He has all the paperwork. You don't know it yet, but the accounts you are dreaming about are already out of reach.
George forced a smile, but his eyes were already calculating. The first crack of doubt had appeared. 3 days later, Catherine was discharged. A hired car brought her home to the colonial house she had defended with silence. She inserted the key and pushed the heavy door open. The air inside was still, waiting. She moved through the living room, touching the back of a chair, letting the silence be her welcome home. Her phone rang. The screen read Harrison. She answered without hesitation.
It's Catherine, it's done. The trust restructure is final. The brokerage account and lake house are now in a charitable remainder trust.
So when George tries to access them, he'll be told they no longer exist under his control.
By the following morning, a formal letter arrived confirming the charitable remainder trust. She held it in both hands.
$1.2 million. He'll never touch. Not a single cent.
All that remained now was the moment when George would realize he had been disinherited while still dreaming of her death. She poured a cup of tea and sat by the window, watching the street. The storm was coming, but she had already built the ark. The phone rang. Catherine picked up before the second ring, already knowing who it would be. George's voice detonated through the speaker. No greeting, no preamble.
I just spoke to the bank. The brokerage account is empty. Moved to a charitable trust. What did you do, Mom? That was my inheritance, 1.2 million, gone.
If you want an explanation, come to the house. I'll tell you everything.
You had no right. We planned everything. You've been scheming since the hospital.
I am at home, George. Come here, and we'll settle this.
I am on my way. Don't you dare lock me out.
She set the phone down. 30 minutes. She retrieved the phone that held the recording, the final piece. Catherine walked to the front door, unlatched it, and stood in the doorway. She would not hide. Outside, the screech of tires announced George's arrival. The reckoning had come. George Hale burst through the front door, Donna 2 steps behind, his face twisted with fury.
You've been scheming since the hospital. What game are you playing, Mom?
No game, George. I was awake the entire time you stood by my bed and told Donna to let me go.
George's mouth opened, but no words came. Donna froze, her confident posture crumbling. Catherine lifted Emma's phone and pressed play. The recording filled the room like a ghost.
Just let her go, Donna. It's the kindest thing and simplifies everything.
Donna's hand flew to her throat, her face draining of color.
The brokerage account is at 1.2 million. That money is ours the second she's dead.
You didn't just plan my death. You described it line by line, dollar by dollar.
In the silence that followed, the sound of their plotted inheritance crashing down was louder than any scream.
Legally, you are not my executor anymore. The power of attorney you abused has been revoked. The brokerage account and the lake house are in a charitable remainder trust. Irrevocable. You get nothing.
You can't do this. I'll sue. I'll contest the will.
You have no standing. The will is ironclad, and that recording will go to the district attorney if you force my hand.
Donna grabbed George's arm, her face a mask of cold defeat. She had gambled and lost everything.
Let's go, George. She's made her choice.
George shook her off, but the fire was gone. He looked at his mother and saw a stranger who had outplayed him.
You'll regret this.
The front door slammed. The house fell silent. Catherine stood in the living room, alone, breathing in the victory she never wanted.
It's over, and I am still here.
Catherine picked up the phone and dialed Emma's number, her fingers steadier now than they had been in weeks.
Emma, it's Catherine. It's over. They came to the house, and I played the recording.
Oh, Catherine, are you all right? I've been so worried.
I am. Because of you. They have nothing now. No power, no money.
A pause lingered on the line, then Emma's voice came back, warm with relief.
I am so glad. Patricia and I will see you on Sunday. She insists on bringing dessert.
Tell Patricia. She's always welcome. I'll make dinner.
When she set the phone down, the living room no longer felt like a battlefield.
The right people are coming. I am not alone.
She touched the keys hanging by the door, the metal cool and familiar. Her life, her fortress. Sunday arrived in a wash of golden light. Catherine's dining table was set with fine china and candles. Emma stepped onto the porch with a bouquet of tulips. Patricia Lawson was right behind her, silver hair bright in the sun.
We come, bearing tulips and Patricia's famous lemon tart.
You are a sight for tired eyes. Come in, both of you.
They moved to the dining room, and soon the space filled with the clink of spoons and soft laughter.
To Catherine,
the strongest woman here, and the one who taught us that grace is a weapon.
To friends who never left, even when blood did.
Their glasses touched with a bright, small ring, the sound settling like a promise. Catherine caught Emma's eye across the table. The hospital, the recording, the emptied accounts, none of it lived in this room. For the first time in weeks, the silence was not heavy. It was full. The evening wound down like a clock that had finally been set right. Plates cleared, chairs pushed back with easy sighs. Catherine walked Emma and Patricia to the door, the porch light pooling at their feet. The three women embraced, the long, sure kind that says more than any promise. Then the door closed, and Catherine stood alone in the hallway. The quiet wrapped around her like a filling finished natural-like. She reached up and touched the keys hanging by the frame. The metal was warm, from her own house, her own hands. Her own hands.
This is mine. Every lock, every door. And nobody can take it from me again.
She turned the deadbolt. The click was solid, final. Not a prison lock, but a welcome home. Outside, the world went on without her son, and the house glowed in the dusk like a promise kept. Inside, Catherine Hale poured the last of the tea and sat by the window, watching the light change. And for the first time in years, the silence asked nothing of her. It simply stayed, and so did she.